What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about if we could get a Sly Cooper game in 2020. Now, I've made videos about this in the past. I've talked about a Sly 5. I've talked about a Sly remaster. I've talked about if there could be a Sly at E3. And recently, we talked about the TV show starting, the 40 episode or whatever crazy number it is TV show that, in my opinion, is aimed to kind of revitalize or at least to see what's out there from Sly Cooper fans. Like, are we still here? You know what I mean? And maybe that could, get them to say, hey, they watched the TV show, they're interested in it. Maybe we could push forward with a game. I do think the TV show has that in mind from Sony. The question would be, could we see it in 2020? I think it'd be highly, highly unlikely. However, I don't think it's impossible. I think that 2020, here's the deal, though. If we get a Sly Cooper game, if there's a Sly game in 2020, it's a remaster. It is just a remaster, a remake of the games put together in one package. Now, I know we had gotten that. We've gotten Sly 1, 2, and 3, but we've never got one that had all four of them. Now, if you did one where you included all four, I don't know if that many people would be all that enthused. When I'm recording this, EA announced that in 2020, they're going to be having a remaster. It's going to be like a year of remasters and also a brand new IP. Now, remasters, are they going to put all three Mass Effects together and remaster them? I think that with the age that we're in, and the thing that Sly actually is going against it for this kind of discussion, is if you're giving us all four games, you're putting them together and you're giving it to us, I think we expect, and I know personally I expect, I would want them to be remade. I want them to get the Crash Bandicoot treatment. I want them to get the Spyro treatment, okay? And even the Medieval or Shadow of the Colossus. I want those. Will I play? If they did a Sly 1 through 4 remaster, they kind of upped the resolution. It looked a little bit better. Like, the lighting was better. It ran better, stuff like that. And they gave us all four games, and they gave it to us on the PS4. And they said, here you go. Here's just something fun that you can have for 2020. Would I still buy it? Yes, I would. And my argument would probably be, one, I adore the Sly franchise, and I would 1,000%, support any game that came out from it. So, of course, I'm going to buy it. And also, two, support is important, and we would need to support that game to then show them, oh, maybe they do want more Sly Cooper. Is it what I would want, though? Absolutely not. I would want it to be, again, like the Crash. I want Sly 1 through 3 to look absolutely incredible. Sly 4, Sly Thieves in Time, looked really, really solid for what it was. And, the way the Sly games are themed just in general, I like that. I honestly will tell you, I like the style of especially Sly 2 and 3. I think they look fine. I'm not playing them to be blown away visually anyway. Sly 1, yeah, there's a lot of problems visually with Sly 1, but, I'm fine with it. However, again, if you're going to give me the game, yeah, would it be cool to see, his fur and the way we could see Crash's fur? Yeah, I would want that. But, if we were to get something, I honestly would tell you, I would believe right now it would only be a remaster. It would be putting the four of them on a disc all together, and it would just, again, be higher resolution, all those kind of smaller things. I'd find it very hard to believe that they've been working on a remake for Sly and it's ready for 2020. I would like to believe more that maybe they hold off in 2020 and then maybe 2021 we get some huge hey, we're gonna remake, or here's the remake of all four games, here you go. Because also you gotta think 2021 we could also probably get a new at least a new Crash or a new Spyro, a brand new game. I actually fully expect that. I think that that's kind of what they've been leaning towards and going forward with. So I do think we'd get that. So I think it would be a good year. Hey, brand new Crash game, and also we get the Sly remake. At the end of the day, I really do think it is what I've been saying with all these past videos. Look, I want Sly 5 just about as much. I want it as much as anybody else. Okay, if you're a diehard Sly fan, I want it just as much as you. I adore this franchise. However, I think where we are in the gaming industry, just as consumers and as them as publishers and developers, I don't think we just all of a sudden get a Sly 5. Honestly, we were lucky to get Thieves in Time. We honestly were. We were lucky to get it because that game came out, and it had been some time, but it hadn't been way too long after Sly 3, and it was, the next game, the next installment in it. But it was also looked at as, hey, if you didn't play the first 3, no biggie, here's the next one. Like, here's another one, or you could also just jump in right here. And it kind of sucks in that way because I feel like a lot of games have that. After the main trilogy ends, if you do a couple more after it, it's harder to kind of hold people's attention just in general because, like, does it have just the fluidity of going from the first through the third game? Like, is it really compact and is it really well done like the first trilogy is? A lot of games, even movies as well, they have a lot of trouble, really, I think, after that third one. And a lot of them could maybe die after the fourth or fifth. A popular film that we truly love on this channel is Pirates of the Caribbean. That really stopped after 5, and 5 is just such a weird number to stop at on Sly. Sly made it 4 games, and then it stopped. That's a really weird, why'd you make the fourth one? Like, obviously, I think they were building towards a second trilogy, but if you don't complete it, then it kind of just looks like, hey, why'd you do it? So, like, I agree with all those points. I want Sly 5. I think they should make a Sly 5 and 6. But with the remake age that we're now in, which I don't hate this age. Remember when we got all those remasters? I really didn't like that remaster age, I'll be honest with you, because that was kind of just the same exact game, just a little bit upgraded, and that's really all it was. I'm a much bigger fan of the remake age because, Final Fantasy VII, like, I'm super excited. I've never played that game before, so I'm super stoked to get that game now. The Crash Bandicoot games, I loved Crash, the Insane Trilogy. I loved Team Racing. The Spyro game I even bought and thought that was really solid. I didn't get Medieval, but, I'm not really interested in that in general. So if we get this game, I honestly want this game to be a remake. I think that is the best chance that we all have, because a remaster, especially, also, like, again, if we want, I think the ultimate goal is to get a Sly 5, right? I feel like we're all still to that point. Sly being what it is, being the whole cartoony kind of like animated thing, just like Crash and just like Spyro, it's not necessarily a thing where you remake it, and by remake I mean like a reboot even, and you just like you make it like a different person, right? It's all of a sudden like a female, or like they switch genders or whatever. It's not something like that. We still like, it's a cross-generational thing, and not just in consoles, in literal people's lives. Like, I started playing this when I was a kid. I am a full adult at this point, but I could be even older by the time we get the next installment of, like, Sly Cooper, like his literal name, his next thing. And so, like, I think that's the goal we're all working towards, right, is Sly 5. In order to get that, we're just not at the point in the gaming world where we're just going to be thrown the next Sly Cooper game. I think that they want kind of like a security blanket saying, okay, we know that there's people out there that want to actually play this game, and we can show people that, or this is how we show the investors, this is how we can, basically give an excuse to make this game is, hey, we know that we can actually sell it. If you don't have that, then can you even really make the game? So it's really tough, but I think a remake is the best step. It would take some work, right? You're going to have to dedicate resources, you're going to have to dedicate people to be making a remake, and then you'll have to actually have to get that game out, and then we all need to support it. The question is, like, that's what I want. I think, well, I mean, I'm not going to speak for all of us. I want the remake. I think that we would get the remake first. I don't think we would just randomly get a Sly 5. I think it makes a lot of sense to have a remake of Sly on the PS5, just in general. We're having remakes of all these other games, and Sly is the newer of, the Crash and the Spyro, but it's not super new. I mean, it's been a long time since we've gotten Sly games, so I think 2020 may be asking for too much. I think 2020 is this kind of hybrid year of getting ready for the PS5. And you have to think about this from Sony's perspective because they own the IP of Sly. They're going to be busy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they're doing, a lot of franchises that they have that they're going to want to continue or restart or have brand new games of just in general. At the end of this PS4, beginning of PS5 life cycle, and like, could they bring back All-Stars, like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale? That's very possible. We've talked about that in videos before. So like things like that. And then when it comes to PS5, Blue Point Games, who's their like go-to remake remake studio, basically. They made Shadow of the Colossus. They're making a new game, but they may be making an original game, not a remake. So, there's that. Sanzaru, they've been quiet for a while. There's a lot of studios that could maybe pick up the mantle and take Sly in general. There's other studios out there that have been part of the remake of Crash and of Spyro. Maybe you try and get them or something. So I think 2020 is kind of asking too much. I think it's kind of like wishful thinking. I want it. I want a Sly game in 2020. I think that my final answer would be if we get a Sly Cooper game in 2020, it would be a remaster of just putting the 4 games together in some sort of bundle. And maybe we will eventually get that, and that'll come out. And that would just maybe be a precursor to a remake. I don't think if we get a remaster, that means we won't get a remake. I think it's actually possible to get both. But if we were to get something in 2020, I think it would be a remaster. If not that, then I don't think we would get anything. And I would much rather them hold off in general. If they need more time to do a remake, if they are secretly making a remake behind the scenes somewhere, I mean, like, that's fine. Like, you keep doing that, and then you come out whenever you're ready, and then we all have to, kind of go behind it and support it, so that we can get future Sly Cooper games, just like people did for Crash, just like people did for Spyro, because those games, I think, are pretty assured to get future games in their franchise now that those remakes sold so well. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you expect anything from the Sly Cooper franchise in 2020? Remake, remaster, new game? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And I do want to talk about Sly Cooper more often on this channel, and these videos do very well for us, and I think you guys really like them. So if this is something that you want to see us continue, definitely let us know. Definitely let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about Sly Cooper related in the comments below, and we will be making future videos about that, okay? So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.